Executive Paul Farrell. Paul?
Milwaukee Tools.
Good afternoon. You know, it's getting exciting. I come walking in here, and first of all, you see the red. But
Tony Evers, I've heard of him. Milwaukee 7. So that Milwaukee Tools actually comes from Milwaukee. Because I'm in the market for tools. I have been for years and years, as many men are. And, you know, you see all the different kinds of tools and whatnot. And I knew it shared that name, Milwaukee, but I wasn't 100% sure if it actually was from Milwaukee. And it is. And one of my favorite songs, it's a rap song, and it goes, I'm from Milwaukee, and probably no one's ever heard of that song. But it was one of my favorite. It was on that Zach TV. He was a pretty famous guy. But I always liked Milwaukee Tools. I like the color red. I like DeWalt and I like Makita, but not as much as Milwaukee, I feel like. And they're actually from Milwaukee. The drills are from Milwaukee, it looks like. Which is cool for me if I could get my hands on Milwaukee up in Canada. It's kind of like I had it imported and everything from the great state of Milwaukee. Because I know how hard it is to get into Milwaukee and just how high quality the products are from Milwaukee. And see, the thing is, even though I don't go to the United States anymore, the reason why is because I knew that all the families, they were already so settled, and they were selling these great products like Milwaukee and all that. So I said, I'm going back to my home country, and I'm going to have all the great products that America sells up in my home country where there's more space for me and everything. And that's turned out. So Milwaukee, I'm going to be looking at them. I need a drill. I don't have an electric drill. But if you get a drill, you don't just want it to be laying on its own, getting dust, cat hair, all that stuff in your drill. It's a drill that's going to last you a really long time. So I'd want to get one of these totes or a bag or something to store the stuff in, and they have those. The most versatile, durable, modular storage system. I've got to see these things in action. I don't believe those were Milwaukee's, but look at these. These look a lot nicer than the ones I seen over at Cam's apartment when they installed the air conditioners. He used one of these to cut the concrete in the wall. And then he improperly pushed the concrete in, but that's beside the fact. But look at how nice these are. Look at how nice these are. Yeah, these are really nice. And then look at this saw. Ask around. I used to have a Diablo saw. Unfortunately, I don't have it anymore, but I'll get another one. I know it. It cost me $150, $200 or whatever. I'm allowed 10,000 in gifts a year. So I know in like maybe next year, the year after, I'll get that saw again. But what other tool is a great tool to have to protect your tools? Like you can have these great tools, like drills and yada yada, but then somebody I know, like in my neighbor, is going to go, ha ha ha, he's buying that saw again, right? Because somebody stole the saw. Well, you need a gun or whatever to protect your tools or whatever. But anyways, if you were to have a lot of expensive tools and whatnot, and it's basically like, don't go. Well, if somebody tries to steal your saw, you tell them with the gun, hey, do not go near the saw. You don't have to use the police if you don't want to. That's a personal choice. I pay for the police, and the police can, but it takes so long for the police to come. They've never recovered my saw because I think the guy that stole it, he's got guns and he shoots the police, but that's beside the fact. I witnessed them shoot a cop, that guy, that Phil. But I don't know. Even people have a drill, one drill, and you can hold on to it as long as it's your. You just got to keep an eye on that drill. That's your drill, like kind of like I keep my eye on my camera or anything like that, you know. But it wasn't that big of a hit. Beside the fact that they're saying, "Oh, it was some kind of big hit when they stole my saw." I mean, think about. I mean, I had to pepper spray the guy, and he got hit pretty hard too. So it wasn't an easy go. He could have just went to the store and bought a brand new saw for $150, and he wouldn't have got maced. It didn't cost me not a dime. Everything was donated, kind of like that Adamson BBQ or whatever. Oh, you know the Adam. Yeah, that's what everyone donated, bud. You know, like the Adamson BBQ people, like like they got they got a lot more money than me, but hey, I got about 5,000 to deal with that Thompson, and they what's it called? Yeah, 5,000 real dollars, not fake, just telling you shit. And 2,000 went to my lawyer Chander Chada, and yeah, some money went to my lawyer, and then I had to pay food and travel and life's expenses and yada yada to go with that. But I don't know if Chander's still practicing law. It doesn't even look like he's practicing law anymore. Oh yeah, you may be. Chander. I haven't spoken to Chander since I got sentenced. That was the last day I ever seen Chander. Was the day that I got sentenced. Oh, and that was back in 2018. See, and you can see on his image capture 2018. Yeah, this is Chander's office right here, law office. I remember stopping in, and they did a great job. He appeared for me. I was all the way in Brampton at the time, so it was quite a drive to go all the way from to Brampton. But Chander, he got me a good deal, what I felt was fair. I know I didn't do the right thing 100%, but I knew that generally I followed the law to the best of my ability, and it was what I had to do to escape death or imminent danger, or mutilation and whatnot, and that's what I had to do. But luckily, I was given a deal from the prosecution, and I didn't find it too. I mean, after serving the time, now I feel it to be a little bit. It was a little bit much of a offer, but hey, the time came and gone very fast, and everything is supposed to be 100% cleared, and that was the deal, the plea agreement. Or else I would have had to go to trial, and that would have cost me a lot of money, and I didn't want to get ripped off for my money either. You know, like I didn't want to get robbed for the money, my retainer, and it's not that Chander would have robbed me, but I want to get. I was innocent, and I don't want to get scammed for a lot of money or whatever, a lot of money when I was an innocent person. So when that plea came up, I took it. I knew it wasn't going to be that harsh of a sentence. I knew I had a lot of learning to do anyway. I had a lot of learning to do, and the knowledge that I gained could pay back that tenfold. The knowledge I gained a lot of knowledge about the system, about our government, about how I'm supposed to conduct myself as a person in society. That much more. I've been given much more. I should be much more gracious. Like I used to think, oh, I'm not doing much wrong anyway, so just sort of act out a bit or what have you by playing music too loud or something like that. It taught me a lot about that. How privileged I am to be like a member in society, even just with a few dollars in my pocket and an e-bike and a computer and all that. Like now I understand how much of an e-bike it is. It's like I'm like top of the top because I remember being at the bottom of the bottom. And if you can make it to that point where you have your own apartment and e-bike and all that, you are at the top of the top. Because you know where I was when I got out of jail after that? Where people were sleeping on the sidewalk. Yes. I went from sleeping on the sidewalk to having like the nicest e-bike in the entire city to having $1,000 diamond gold ring to having all the cool tattoos and whatever, and I still need work on those, but I got everything. I got an iRobot Roomba. It cleans my apartment automatically. And I swear 3 years ago, I was sleeping on the concrete like this. Or I was passing by others that were like I was walking, believe it or not, I was walking a lot. I remember this one girl that used to sleep in front of the Tim Hortons. And I knew I wasn't going to survive. There was like mad diseases coming off the concrete. You could feel the bugs biting you. I even slept in a bank once, and it was coincidental. It was right down the street from a house that I used to rent. But that is how easy you can go from being $65,000 a year to being homeless, sleeping on the street. Watch who you trust. Never trust anybody with your assets when they say, hey, I'll put your stuff in a storage unit for you and pay the bill for you until you're ready to pay it. Do not go that way because they're probably going to let it go. I lost a lot of expensive assets in my storage unit that should have been held on to, like a $700 bamboo table I bought on early in my career, and a lot of that. And tattoo machines. I had tattoo machines. I had a lot of stuff. A professional scooter, and a lot of stuff that got lost in a storage unit. So that taught me a lot. It's all about me, myself, and I. And if you illegally get in the way, then guns have to be drawn, and that's the law. I'm a man. I'm over 18. That's my property legally. If because of the last time where that was a robbery, classified as robbery under law, where I lost everything and I was sleeping on the trash can. Meanwhile, I was making $65,000 a year because I got robbed. So now I know how serious it is. I'm getting my possession acquisition license. I am a firearm owner. Because what I learned in court is, basically I was told in court because I chose to pepper spray the man instead of eliminate him, the robber. There was a robber, a really bad robber, that was trying to murder me. You're supposed to eliminate that person, not pepper spray them under law. So because he was able to like sue me or charge me back. You know how, have you ever heard of that stuff where the criminal does something wrong up in Canada and then supposedly you can get charged by the criminal? Yeah, that happened to me. I got charged by the criminal. So basically, the court said next time that happens with a criminal, you have to shoot them dead with a firearm, or else you will face charges. So that's the law up in Canada. Because I have one other confirmed kill where I had to shoot and kill a man, and I was never charged because the law states that I eliminated the threat. There was no counter charges. It was seen as self-defense, and that was all. But when I did the less than lethal, I less than lethal the person, and and because they started choking me and attacking me with a real firearm, like a 45 or a 50 caliber. I pepper sprayed them, and I faced charges, and I had to get it plea agreed and everything. It was horrible. But I shot somebody's head off at Costco. I disarmed them, and that one was seen without even no prejudice. There was not even a court, or I didn't even have to attend court because the guy, and he did the same thing. He tried. I was walking out just normally out of Costco with my auntie, and I get like approached by this black guy with a gun, and then so I took the gun from him and I shot him. He was getting ready to shoot me. He was doing a 180 shoot on me. It was unbelievable. It was the only time there was a big race war or whatever, and then we won it or whatever. That's why you see all the white people now or whatever. Yeah, one even Rittenhouse had to kill somebody or whatever, and I had to kill somebody or whatever. But I didn't even have to go to court for mine. Rittenhouse had to go to court because it was all on video. Well, mine was on video too. But Costco, I think, handled the litigations or whatever on mine, really. And what is it called? But I don't know. I don't know. And mine wasn't public either. But that pepper spray incident was like a real Rittenhouse. And that was even before the justified shooting. I had the pepper spray was before the justified shooting. I don't know, but I do not want it to happen again. So I generally, I don't know. I don't know what it was. They were pretty racist against white people in certain areas in Toronto. Like, this one person said to me, like, we don't wear Affliction. I think I was wearing Affliction. Yeah, and they freaking jumped on my butt one day in that Brampton, actually, Brampton. They're like, we don't wear Affliction, da 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 da, and all that to me. Like, Affliction don't roll around here. Something like that, all right? Yeah, and I almost got killed wearing Affliction, and then I disarmed the guy or whatever. And that's what happened. Anyways, it wasn't any of these Afflictions. It was actually a bright orange Affliction shirt. Is when it all started. I was wearing, yeah, and then there was these gigantic black guys or whatever at the it's all that Drake Aubrey Graham. Okay, he's against Affliction and all that. Believe it or not, like super duper. He's with this super black gang or whatever. They're against Affliction. They don't like white people. They kill white people. They beat up white children. And then now they're using Adonis as like an Illuminati thing. It's like, he's white, but he's not actually white. He's really black. So he's going to kill you. Like, it's some weirdo freaking Kodak Black. That one where they got the crosses or whatever, and he's killing the redneck person. Yeah, that kind of weirdo. It's like this. It's like this. They trick the white people, and then they kill them. This demonic. It's that demonic thing that you've seen the videos talking about the demonic symbols, the da da da. That's what it all leads up to. If you fall into it, you get killed or whatever. They eat your food. You become a new tattoo. You become the new pack or whatever. Doesn't matter who you are. You could be you could be a kid off the street, or you could be somebody older. And every time you listen to their music, they're closer to packing you up. And yada yada. If you buy their T-shirt, you're basically a packer. I mean, look at Nipsey. He did everything right. It's that whole culture. What the hell? Look at the tattoo pen that Kodak Black got his cross with. It's like this really skin, or like this really. I've never seen a pen that small. John Wicks, 1800. I got to have one of these rings for a little second or two over in Brampton at the Brampton Grills and Jewelry. They got them over there. And guess how much they are? They're not as much as you think. This exact ring you can get for $500. That's how much it costs. Diamonds. Or Mesonite or whatever. It's basically the same thing. Diamonds are like a little bit more pristine, I feel like, or whatever, or something like that. Or it's like the more, it's the official compound, and the Mesonite's almost there. It's like the knockoff real life thing or whatever. Like it's like a diamond that never made it to diamond. It's like a diamond that never made it to diamond. It's not a knockoff. It's a real element that grows just like a diamond. It's just like a diamond, but it never made it to diamond qualities or classifications. But it's almost a diamond, like pretty much. I don't think it's as hard or something. It's just a little bit softer than official diamond. So it's a lot cheaper. Like those rings, I bet you those weren't even real. I bet you those were Mesonite rings. I guess it's, well, you don't call it, they're real rings. They're still real rings. They're just Mesonite rings. No, mine is diamond. I'm fairly sure they're not Mesonite. Hopefully they're not. Honestly, I'm not buying any more rings. It was like the one ring, and that's it that I hold on to. I don't need too many rings. My friend Kim hit every single finger she has. Had all these precious metal rings on them. Gold looks cheesy here, but I like those. What are those ones we just pulled up? It was after this one. Oh, these ones. Yeah, I'm starting to really like this stuff here. What is this? Sterling silver and whatnot? Platinum? Look at this band right here. That's a nice band right here. These are really nice rings. You got this one here that's got black diamond or black onyx. Like can't tell the difference between black onyx and black diamond. I bet you it's onyx, but it might be diamond. Who knows? They could be the same thing. Black diamond is clear, while black onyx is opaque and highly glossy. Black onyx does not reflect light, while black diamond does. Diamond is composed of carbon, while onyx is a silicon dioxide crystal. Black onyx is known as a cactosilicate, as other varieties of quartz, while black diamond is known as a native element. Black onyx is sort of black quartz, they're saying, while the black diamond is its own individual element on the periodic table or whatever. Whereas quartz is glass or whatever. So the onyx is, it's a rare black glass or whatever. But it's very thick. It's like a shale. But you know what shale's made out of? Sand. They make glass out of sand. So it's like this black shale that they form or that they grind down really nicely, right? And it looks like glass a little bit, glassy. What's this? Black onyx. Yeah, it is this black shale. It's like shale that's been like pressed and pressed and pressed all the way to super black amounts on your hand or whatever, or wherever you have the jewelry. Like my family was big into shale and all that. You know, like when you're into construction and you're into building and all that, you see shale, you like shale, you learn about in science class, you learn about the sedentary rock and whatnot. So this is like some rare sedentary rock, and then they jewel craft it. Well, they gem cut it. It's part of jewel crafting. You know, you're creating a jewel, you're creating jewelry. Creating jewelry is what jewel crafting is, and part of creating jewelry is the gem cutting. Because if you're having gems in your jewelry, there's some blue garnet. I have red garnet or what have you on in my ring, but there's some blue garnet, and it looks nice. Here's some really nice stuff. I even got to go to like Disneyland and all that and see the big buckets of this stuff. But when you go to the jewelry store, they cut it with these very nice Dremel cutters, I guess. That's the only thing I can think of. And look at this light on the top. There's like this, you have this spinning, and then there's a light on top. That's cool. It's a special gem cutting machine. And there's all different ways they do it. Some are robotic, some are by hand. It depends on who your jeweler is. Some create certain styles. See, it starts out just a rock or whatever, and he cuts it into the specific style of cutting that you want, such as princess or whatnot, yada yada, or the amount of sides and whatever. There's all different recipes and techniques. Well, I don't think the word's recipe, but there's different techniques to the jewel cutting. Formats. What is this? Is that emerald or something? Oh yeah, they wash the gems and whatnot too. They even have tumblers. They wash the gem in a tumbler first, and then they proceed to cut it. No, they get metal and they form it into a ring and whatnot. You have to watch an actual video. They drill holes and all that where they want the stuff to go. They solder on the prongs. They do some soldering. Then they fit their cut gems into their settings. They create the settings on the ring and all that to hold the gem. You have the shaping of the metal, the designing, intertwining, whatever you want to do with it. They have great designing. blueprints for everything, the gem cutting, the metal work, everything. Then you got the gemology. That's even before you cut the gem and all that. The history of the gem. How rare is it? What's the worth of it? What is it? What's its clarity, its rarity? It's all that. Different gems have different scales. One of the more famous ones, the diamond, it has that VVS and all that with them and all that. This one's another very rare one. I think this is called a what is it called? But they're pretty pricey because they have that turquoise look to them. A pretty rare gem. They sell them. My mom even has something with that. No, she isn't gonna sell her gem. Why the hell would she sell her gem? I don't. You don't get gems that sell them like that. That's not what they're for. They're for holding on to. It's thieves, or it's usually thieves that sell their gems like that, or their gold. Because usually it's a gift, or you buy it for yourself to hold on to. You're not making any big profit. It's still worth money when you take it to sell it, but you're going to lose money. So it's not an investment like that generally, unless it's some investment gem that you're going to create. Like say you buy a gigantic rock or whatever to cut rings out of it. But to cut, like you want to make smaller diamonds out of the one rock. That's one way to make money with gems. But if somebody gives you it, like then I guess you could sell it for food money, but that's very stupid. It's generally this sign of wealth. It's like you had so much money that you have this metal, this gem on your finger, and you won't sell it. Like you have food. Food's not a matter. That's kind of the symbolization of it. And there's nothing illegal about it. The queen wears gems. It's a sign of where what you're from and what you do and what you're about. Anyways, status symbol. That people can easily read, kind of like clothing. But you want to be careful, just like clothing. You got jealous ones. You do. Don't have a ring if you don't have a gun. Or if daddy don't have a gun. Or if daddy don't have a gun and uncle don't have a gun and then do not wear precious gems. Or if you're not good friends with the police, or you don't have some sort of self-defense or whatever. If you can't afford a lawyer, I wouldn't wear any expensive jewelry. But look, there's more. There's educational degrees, cars, your home, or the location that you live, cell phone, your mobile, child's school, college, credit card, air conditioning. I got air conditioning, and I have central heat, and it's central air. And I have full control over my thermostat. There's no lock on it like some people have. Holiday abroad. When you go on a holiday to some country that you've never explored or that you want to go to or that you have friends at or family. Your job or your business, your extras, all that. Your little things that you want to have. Club memberships. I used to be a member at Good Life Fitness. That's a good membership to hold. It's one of these really nice fitness memberships where you have the pool and all that. I used to swim in the pool and all that. And one membership gives you access to all of the Good Life Fitness locations all over. And they're 24 hours, some of them.